Welcome back to part 2 of the build of the Cap 232. This is the progress we've gotten done so far. It's looking really good. Alright, so far I have dry fitted the motor into place. Which what I mean by that, I've just taken some two-phase sticky tape and taped the motor in place. I wanted to check the cowl differences, see where I was in distance. Which, come to find out, this motor here, where my shaft is at, is a little too short. The KV, all that, everything spec-wise in the motor is right. It's supposed to be what it needs to be, but my length is a little off. So, what I'm going to do is go ahead and mount the motor, and then what I think I'm going to end up doing with the cowl here is taking my Dremel and just kind of notching this bottom half out, so that way it'll fit. And I'll still have the clearance for the prop here. And it should still work. It'll still be good. It'll still look clean. Still look right. And I look at it this way. If it doesn't work, the motor's not going to work for me. For the price that I got into the motor, I'll just order something a little bigger later to put in there and see what happens and see how it works. So anyway, so far I have centered my motor. Taken my center points and found out, measured from each side, used my lines here that they actually give you in there. And I have my holes marked, and I'm going to go ahead and drill those out and get that motor mounted. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and do a test and see how much power the motor is actually giving me. Hook up a speed controller and battery up to it, my radio, and see what she's got. So let me go ahead and get the holes drilled out and get that mounted. Like I said, this mount here they actually kind of made it kind of neat. It actually slides up. You can slide it in and out. So right now it's not even glued. It's just set in there. So let me go ahead and get that done, and then I will show you the progress. Alright, one sec. Okay, we're back. I've got the motor mounted. It's nicely securely in place. And then I've also wanted to add a note for my LiPo battery. Like I said, I'm probably running like a 2200 milliamp LiPo. Well, anyways, they give you this wooden rod, if you guys can see it. There we go. That wooden rod actually slides through the front here, and I think it's for a different style of motor mount. And so you can do a stick for brushed if you want it, I think. Well, anyways, I'm going to run that through just like that and glue it into place. And then I'm going to use this for my battery to rest on, basically, because it's going to run through here into the hole. And then I can put my Velcro strap onto that to strap it down and hold it in place. Just something added that I think I'm going to try out, see how it works. I started looking at it, figuring out how I'm going to do Velcro and to get my battery to mount. So I think I'm going to go ahead and install that and try that out, see how that works. And see what she does. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mount this to the firewall and get a speed controller ready, and we'll test this motor out. Make sure it is going to do what it's supposed to do. And we'll see what happens. And I'll show you guys an example. I'll show you what it does and the performance that it actually pulls out of it. And I'm also going to glue that wood rod into place. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, we're back. And as you can see, I decided to do spacers on the motor. I don't want to cut the cowl. I started thinking about it. It's electric. If you don't have to cut the cowl, don't cut it. So I went ahead with spacers, and I have the motor mount, or the motor secured into the back firewall. Everything is secured now. It's ready to go. So far, all that's set in place. I was going to do an electric motor run, but I'm out of Dean's connectors right now. I have a shipment of those coming in, so once them come in, we can actually do a performance check on the motor and see how that all goes, you know, and see what happens with that. Make sure we do have enough power. So, what I think we're going to do now is get set up to go ahead and install the servos in the wings and get the horns and everything all set up, control horns, and get all that ready to go. So let me go ahead and get that prepped and ready, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make the holes here for the servos to mount the wings. And how I like to do this is I'll take my X-Acto knife. You want to find your spot where your servo mounts at, which I'm sure you can't see it here on the camera. But right there, you might be able to see it. And then how I do it is I take my X-Acto and I will run an X. So I'll poke a hole, run an X, all the way through. Like that. Excuse me. And instead of actually cutting the paper off, I don't cut the paper off. What I use is I use my heating iron, which I've already done on the other wing, and I'll show you here. And I'll actually fold the ends over with the heating iron, so that way the paper doesn't want to rip later on when you're in flight. It has more stick and more better that way. So let me go ahead and get the other side heated, and then I'll be back. Okay, now I just have the servo set into place. And what I've done is ran the wire, servo wire through the plane wing. And I just kind of thought I'd show you guys the direction of the servo, the ailerons over here. So, let me go ahead and get these mounted, set into place, and then next we'll be working on the horns for the ailerons. Okay, we have our servos mounted. Wires ran out. Now we're going to be working on control horns. I just kind of have this set up, trying to get my line up the way I want it, and all that other good stuff. And I think I have it about right where I want it. So what I do is then I line it up, then I'll just take something sharp or my drill thing here, which has got the wrong size bit in it right now, and then just kind of mark my hole real fast where I want it at. And then I'd take this off, take the rod back out of it, go ahead and get it all mounted, get the little back plate on there, and then you use your 2 screws to hold it in place. And that's about it for control horns. So let me go ahead and get that done, and then I'll be right back. Alright, we have the control horns in. And the bars are all in. It's all ready to go. The wing is basically done besides actually putting the wing together. Now, I just wanted to show here, they actually show you actually bending this rod to pre-fit to actually go in. I don't like doing that. I like using these adjusters, which these are adjusters here. I got these at Hobby King. They're actually GWS's. Here's a new package, actually. GWS's. You get like 5 of them in a pack. They got 2mm and 1.5mm, I think it is. But anyways, I use these, and then I can actually adjust my rods by just tightening the screw right up there, and that's about it. I love it. Those are great. And like I said, I got these at Hobby King. I think I paid $2.30 for a 5-pack, which is an excellent price on those. So yeah, that's what I do there. I do that with all my servos. I like being able to have that adjustment if I need it. Alright, now, as you can see, both wings are done. We're both looking good. Oh, and also on this Factor 2, they use, I don't know if you can see that, plastic backings. Well, what I like to do with those when I get those in is I'll take a dab of CA and CA those into place after I get them in, which they still move real great. It's basically underneath. You can see that there. Underneath, I'll just put a little dab of CA at the very top half of it on the underneath bottom to hold it in place. That way I know it won't back out on me. Okay, the next step we're going to do here is join our wings together and get them assembled. You take this little wood rod or this wood dowel here that they give you, whatever you want to call it, and it slides right there in that hole. You want to push it all the way until it stops, and then you can actually join the wings together. Now you can use an epoxy on this or whatever. I'm going to use my thick CA to join this together because I don't feel like holding the wing together for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. But if you remember, if you're going to use a CA, you have to be really quick about it, line it up really fast, whatnot. So that's what I'm going to use. If you're new at this, you may want to use an epoxy, at least a 5-minute epoxy. I mean, you want to give yourself some time to make sure everything's lined up really good. So, all right, let me go ahead and get that together, and I'll be back. Okay, there we have it. The wing assembly. Right now it's drying. I guess I like to use a couple clamps to kind of hold her together. And we're setting in place, drying. But I think that's going to go ahead and be the end of the build here for this part. And I'll get the next video up as soon as possible. Hopefully we can get this plane bird finished up and see her in action, see her flying once our weather breaks here. We're still waiting for spring to hit, but hopefully we can get her going here. I believe this is part 3. Yeah, part 3. This is going to be the end of part 3 build. So, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to have plenty of more builds in the future, which will be actually here soon. I actually got some other things, projects that need to get done too yet, so I'll have plenty to do. So, and to show you and give you pointers and whatnot. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.